everybody, this is John Carlos, and I am here with a look at the Trick or Treat Sam Animatronic from Spirit Halloween. Alright, instructions. I think it's best to slide this whole cardboard thing out. Okay, going from left to right, we have the left and right arms that include the lollipop and the burlap sack already attached to the hands. We have the legs up the top. Almost all of this comes with the foam already around the appendages, but here's just the one of the legs that you can see, just the black bar without the foam rollers around it. You've got the costume. In this little white box is the AC adapter. You've got the latex head, the burlap sack head. There's the floor base with the like the chest unit right on top of it. And lastly, the little shoulder form. And when you put it all together, you get this. And when you move in front of the motion sensor, you get this. Now that is loud. But one of the perks of this 2021 edition is a much louder speaker box. We know it's the 2021 edition because the item number this year is NM0341. Another difference with the 2021 edition is the head is much lighter. I've also noticed that the 2019 and 2021s are not a perfect orb. There's a very noticeable ridge when you got to the top section of the head. This one has it too, but it's not as drastic. It's a much more subtle indentation, and I appreciate that. Speaking of heads, you can take this head off. It just has like a little plug, and you can switch out the other head really easily. It just pops right in. No muss, no fuss. I gotta say, I'm really surprised by the level of detail in this head. I wasn't expecting this much attention to detail in the paint. Like, the sculpt is pretty good. Like, the texture of it actually has some good texture, and the shading between the little ridges are all really nice. But for what this sort of thing is, I don't expect an animatronic from Trick or Treat to have this much shading and detail within the mouth, the teeth, the stitching. It looks really good. However, I will be displaying this with the burlap sack head because that's just the better, cuter version. Now, one thing worth noting is that this figure does come with those little foam pads to go over the bars and kind of fill out the figure, the body shape, but it doesn't really fill out, doodly squat. The outfit still looks baggy, still looks really skinny compared to how Sam looks in the movie. So I'll be getting some of my own stuffing to sort of thicken out the belly, the crotch, the thighs, so he doesn't look so skinny. This animatronic also came with this. Which, I believe, at first I thought it was just packing material, but it clearly goes over the chest piece, over all the gack, which I think might help fill out the chest a bit, but the legs definitely need some thickening. Now, one little thing that I do like is that they've dirtied up his outfit. All along the front has kind of dirt smears. His legs, chest, all have kind of dirty marks and smears on them. The downside is they didn't do his back at all, and I kind of wish they'd done front and back because it's, a full-bodied animatronic. Here's just a quick look at the inside. The animatronic comes with an AC adapter, but here's where you would change it out with the battery pack if you want to get a battery pack. Also, this is where you would plug in the step pad if you want to buy a step pad. Now, one little thing that I really like about this is his candy sack. I like that the burlap is kind of dirtied, so it's not just one color. But the thing I appreciate is this little Velcro seal right here because it arrives empty, and I think the sack looks bad empty and flaccid. So you can stuff it with, like we use packing peanuts. But the fact that you can open it, that they thought to create a seal for you to stuff it, is really, really nice. I think they did a really good job with the sculpted burlap pattern on the gloved hands. I think the hands look good. I think the lollipop looks great. It is worth noting that the stick is not just a painted plastic stick. This is actually a fabric that is running over the stick, which was quite a surprise to me. Pretty good details on this as far as like the head. I think the burlap looks great. They did a good job with the buttons, the stitching all along the burlap head, and even like the little cartoonish stitching along these patches here. A lot of good details on this. Now this retails for $179, but thankfully there are Spirit coupons out there, and I used a Spirit coupon to get this, and thank goodness I did, because I tend to think that Spirit animatronics are a little overpriced. But this is no normal Spirit animatronic. This is an animatronic of Sam, and I would have paid $179 just for a static Sam figure. So the fact that he is an animatronic is just icing on the cake. I like the music, I like hearing him laugh, I love the quality of the burlap sack head, I love the dirtying of the front of the costume, I love that they included his lollipop and his sack, and honestly, just looking at it in the house, it looks good. Like, one of the reasons we decided to get this is that it doesn't look crappy, like it looks like a good one-to-one figure. I adore Sam, absolutely love him, so having him in one-to-one is great. I am looking forward to kind of filling out his costume a bit, but other than the fact that he's kind of skinny, I'm really happy with this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this, and if you want to be up to date with all my latest reviews, be sure to click subscribe.